You will hear a university lecturer giving a talk about the history and development of glassmaking. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to look at the history of glassmaking, beginning with its earliest known forms and continuing through to some of the important ways glass is used in modern technology. Glass is such a familiar material today that we rarely think about how difficult it once was to produce. We see it in windows, bottles, screens, laboratories, and communication systems. But the techniques needed to manufacture high-quality glass developed slowly over several thousand years. Let's begin with the earliest evidence. Archaeologists believe that some of the earliest manufactured glass objects appeared at around 3,500 BC. These discoveries were made mainly in parts of ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt. At this stage, glass was not normally used to make large containers or windows. Instead, its first major use was for small decorative items. These included beads, ornaments, and other objects that could be worn or displayed. Because glass was difficult to manufacture and required considerable skill, it was considered valuable. In some societies, brightly colored pieces of glass were treated almost like precious stones. Now let's turn to the way early glass objects were made. One important ancient technique was known as core forming. A craftsman created a simple shape using a core of clay. Hot or softened glass was then placed around this core. Once the glass had cooled and hardened, the material inside could be removed. This process was relatively slow, and the objects produced were often quite small. Nevertheless, it allowed early craftsmen to create bottles and containers with more complicated shapes. A major technological change came much later with the development of glass blowing. Glass blowing became particularly important under the Romans, and Roman craftsmen greatly improved the technique during the 1st century AD. Instead of shaping every object slowly around a solid core, a worker could gather hot glass onto the end of a hollow metal tube and blow air into it. The air expanded the soft glass, allowing the craftsman to form a hollow vessel. This method transformed glass production. One important advantage was that containers could now be produced much more quickly than before. This reduced the amount of labor needed for each object. As production increased, glass became more widely available. It was no longer restricted mainly to wealthy households or ceremonial use. Ordinary people increasingly used glass bottles, cups, and storage containers. The Roman Empire also had extensive trade networks, which helped glassmaking techniques spread across Europe and parts of the Mediterranean region. After the decline of the Roman Empire, glassmaking continued to develop in several European centers. During the medieval and Renaissance periods, one location became particularly famous: Venice. Venetian glassmakers developed extremely refined techniques, and by the Renaissance, the city was internationally known for producing exceptionally clear glass. One famous type of Venetian glass was called cristallo. Cristallo was admired because it was much clearer and less colored than many earlier forms of glass. Wealthy European customers valued it for drinking vessels, mirrors, and decorative objects. However, Venetian authorities were very protective of their glass industry. In the late 13th century, many glassmakers were required to move their workshops away from the main city and onto the nearby island of Murano. There were practical reasons for this. Glass furnaces created a serious fire risk in a city where many structures contained wood. But there was another important reason. The government wanted to protect valuable manufacturing knowledge. Glassmakers on Murano were closely controlled in order to prevent important trade secrets from being passed to competing centers. Despite these restrictions, Venetian glassmaking knowledge eventually spread to other parts of Europe. Over time, countries such as France, England, and Bohemia developed their own glass industries, often adapting Venetian techniques to local materials and styles. Now let's move forward to the period of industrial change. Before industrialization, glass production depended heavily on skilled manual labor and traditional furnaces. But improvements in furnace design and access to new sources of energy gradually transformed production. In several European industries, newer furnaces increasingly use coal as a fuel source. Coal could provide the sustained high temperatures required for large-scale manufacturing, and it became especially important as industrial production expanded. At the same time, manufacturers developed more efficient methods for producing both flat glass and glass containers. Mechanization had a major economic effect. Machines allowed factories to produce much larger quantities of glass with greater consistency. As a result, machine production reduced the overall cost of glass goods. This was extremely significant. Cheaper glass meant that it could be used in far more areas of everyday life. Larger windows became common in homes, shops, and public buildings. Glass bottles could be manufactured in huge quantities, and scientific institutions gained access to increasingly precise glass instruments. By the 20th century, glass had become an essential industrial material. However, its development did not stop there. Modern glass can be engineered to have very specific properties. Some forms are designed to resist heat. Others are strengthened so that they are far more difficult to break. Special glass is used in vehicles, laboratories, medical equipment, buildings, and electronic devices. Perhaps one of the most important modern applications is in communications technology. Here, glass is used in the form of extremely thin optical fibers. These fibers can carry information using pulses of light. Large numbers of them can be bundled together in cables and used to transmit enormous quantities of digital data over long distances. This technology plays a major role in modern telephone networks and internet infrastructure. It is interesting to remember that this highly advanced use of glass developed from a material that ancient craftspeople once used mainly for beads and small ornaments. So, to summarize, the history of glassmaking is really a story of technological improvement. Early producers worked with simple materials and labor-intensive methods. The development of glassblowing made production faster. Venetian craftsmen later achieved remarkable levels of clarity and quality. Industrialization reduced manufacturing costs, while modern science has given glass entirely new functions. And today, although we still use glass for familiar purposes such as windows and containers, it also plays a vital role in some of the world's most advanced technologies. That brings us to the end of today's lecture.
You now have some time to check your answers.